Hi guys, so next in season preview list, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now first we'll start with the coaching staff. Head coach, obviously you still got Mike Tomlin. He's been with them for a long time. He hasn't had a single season with losing record. Let's see if he can keep that up. He was former Vikings assistant, but yeah, he's a decent head coach. He's a good head coach, but I feel like if it wasn't for him always having winning records, he might not still be here because he hasn't played with them in a while. We'll see. Defensive coordinator Brandon Arthur Smith, former Falcons head coach. He was a really good coordinator with the Titans before he went to Falcons, but he was a bad head coach. So he might be one of those coordinators who just aren't a good head coach, but are good coordinators. There's some of those guys. So we'll see. Basically, he used to be a good coordinator. We'll see what happens. It shouldn't be that hard for him to be better than Matt Canada the last few years. So the defensive coordinator, you get Terrell Austin. This is the second year for their DC. He was their former D coach. Their defense is really good. Their defense has been pretty good this past for a while. How much is Zach? A lot of talent, but we'll see. That's it for the coaching staff. Now let's go to your depth chart. First, let's go to quarterback. One of your biggest questions, if not your biggest, sounds like Russ will be your week one starter. But between your two potential starters and him and Justin Fields, Fields is the higher ceiling. Wilson's how much does he still have within the tank? He's 35, soon to be 36. He's been in decline since he left Seattle. So we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Fields is their starter. Fields is a lot younger. He's only 25. He showed some fastness for the Bears. They haven't had a great amount of weapons for him, but the Steelers don't have a great ton of weapons for him this year. But we'll see. They got some young weapons. They drafted Roman Wilson. Like they drafted Roman Wilson from Michigan. They got another year of development for George Pickens, but they got as number 2 and 3 wideouts. They're not very proven. They got two good running backs. Potentially a third good one, but Patterson's not that great anymore. Got a good tight end, but yeah, it's they don't have a ton of weapons around them. Yeah. So we'll see. There's your third string. You got Cal Allen. He's a fine third string quarterback. He has been had to start some games, but he isn't a great starter. And then you also got John Rice Plumley. He's not good. Showing momentum guy should be best practice squad. He should not be able to make. He should not be your third practice. Should not be your third quarterback. So that's it for your quarterback room. See there, and then now let's go to running backs. Now you got as your number one, you got Najee Harris. He still had 1,000 yards last year, but it was more like a 1-2, 1A, 1B thing for it with him and Jalen Warren last year. He's a still fine running back, but yeah, it's but you do make up then behind him we got Jalen Warren. He had a good year this year. He started the year off as their number two, but near the end of the year started to get a little more. He had almost 800 yards and only 150 carries. He had 4 touchdowns, so we'll see. But he's dealing with a hamstring injury, so is he don't be fully healthy by early on in the season, or is he don't be a little injured still? We'll see there. That's still a good 1-2 punch. Trying to got Cordero Patterson, he can step in and be your number two just fine if until the Lawrence gets fully healthy. He is 33 though. That's pretty old for running back, but he's also a drafted wide receiver. He's still a good returner, but he did not do much last year with Atlanta. But he's had some decent years. So we'll see. He's not much in the receiving at this point either. Your firm is your number three, but he should find number two running back. That's going to make a Preine. He's not good. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, you got three. You get good depth in your top three, but after that, not much. So we'll see. Because Patterson is 33. That's pretty old for running back. Warren's dealing with a hamstring injury. So we'll see there. I'm pretty sure they declined Najee Harris's fifth year option. Let me go check. So yeah, they did decline Najee Harris's fifth year option. I thought they did. I just can't remember for sure. So yeah, he is a free agent this end of the off season. I think Patterson is too, but it's not that big a deal. So yeah, they won't have a ton of running back next year, but we'll see. Then our receiver, let's go to our receiver. Now, yeah, number your top one, you got George Pickens. This is his third year. He had a good year last year. He had 1,000 yards. He had 5 touchdowns without good quarterback play. Like Pickett was not good last year. This is like it's not like he did not have a good quarterback. Or same with 2022. He's a good wideout. He should get even better and be a great number one. Thomas behind him, you don't have great. Like you got Van Jefferson. He's a fine slot guy, but he is not a good like. No, you don't want him being your number two. He's not at your number. He should not be your number two. So yeah, but he had some decent years with the Rams, but he hasn't had great years. So see. Then behind them, we also got Calvin Austin the third. You're kind of helping. Maybe he can step up. This is his third year, but he has not shown much. It's like you got a lot of young guys that can help step up. But we'll see. He barely did much. He did barely did anything last year. But they had Pickens. They had Allen Robinson also last year, so he didn't get a ton of playing time. So we'll see. Maybe not your valid. It's not, which is what he needs. Then behind them, we also got you drafted Roman Wilson in this third round. He's like should be. I think he'll be a good like number two or slot guy, but I don't think he might not be great right now. He has dealing with injury right now, so we'll see. He should be good for them, but you're not expecting him to be huge for you in his rookie year. But the Steelers are always good at finding day two wide receivers. They always seem to be, so they could find another good one. Behind him, he got a speed threat, really just a speed threat. He's not much else in Quez Watkins. He's fine depth, but you're not expecting much out of him. He did, yeah, he dealt with a lot of injuries last year, so can he stay healthy? We'll see. Then behind them, he also got this for Patrick. He's okay. He's a depth. That's really it. Behind him, he also got Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller, like he had some good year. He had some decent years with the Bucks under with Brady, but he hasn't been done much since. Like he had like I think one decent year with the Bucks with Brady. So yeah, like his first year with Brady, he did good. After that, he dealt with injuries in the following year. Then, but ever since, he's barely done anything. Like he hasn't had 200 yards since 2020. So we'll see. He didn't do a thing, but maybe he can step up and be what he was with Brady. But Russell Wilson, Justin Fields at this point aren't Brady in 2020, even in 2020. We also got Jacob Copeland and Jerry Jenkins. Okay, depth. They knew this guy should make the roster unless some injuries happen. But if they do, that sucks because they shouldn't be making the roster. They just got Deuce Watts and TJ Luther. They're bad depth. They shouldn't make this roster. Maybe one of them's practice squad guy just because they might like these bottom four guys. Like maybe one of them makes practice squad just so they have that extra depth. Streak Black's on IR. He's gonna be out for most of the season, if not all. So I'm not gonna talk about him. Now let's say for receiver room, yeah, good number one. You got a lot of unproven guys behind them now. So it's like who can step up in this receiver room? Now let's go to your tight end group. Number one tight end, you got Pat Fryermuth. He's one of the top. He's a this last year he struggled. He had a down year, but he missed 5 games. But like he's proven he can be one of the top tight ends in this league. Like his rookie year, he had 7 touchdowns, so he can be a good tight end. Can he stay healthy though? So we'll see. At least if he can stay healthy, I think he's a top 10 tight end. They also got a huge tight end in Darnell Washington, second year guy at Georgia. He's a decent blocker. He's not much of a receiving threat. Like last year, he had 7 receptions on 7 targets. Like he didn't get much from him, even with Firemouth missing some time. So we'll see there. Maybe review some of what he needs. Behind them, we also got Kenny Hurd, another recent draft pick, younger brother of Cameron Hayward, your star defensive lineman. He's a late round pick in 2022. He'll probably make this roster because he don't have much depth, but he hasn't. He hasn't done a thing. Then behind them, we also got Mikael Pruitt. He's not good. Like he started 2 at this point, so you know what you have on him. He should now make this roster. Like you should be going with these younger guys in front of him on the step chart, because if at least with these young guys, they can get a little better. You never know they might do better. But Prude, you got him, you make it even worse because he is 32. So then at fullback, he also got Jack Catello. He's a fullback. That's about it. Most teams don't even carry fullbacks. And now let's go to your offensive line. So left tackle, they have Dan Moore listed as their starter, but he also in the first round drafted Troy Fatanu to be your starting left tackle, opposite of Roderick Jones, your first round pick the previous year. So yeah, like Dan Moore is okay, but like you're hoping Fatanu has a good camp and preseason starts over him because Fatanu has upside. He's first round pick, so we'll see. Fatanu should be good. But he might have some struggles his rookie year, like most rookie offensive linemen do. Their left guard, who had a great signing last season from the Eagles, and that's Isaac Tuimalu. He's a good left guard. He's good, but I think he's only 31 soon, but he's still good offensive lineman. He had some good years with the Eagles. Just a lot of people were thinking, well, can he be good outside them? Because Eagles always seem to have good offensive linemen. Then we had him. You also got Spencer Anderson and Joy Fisher, young developmental guys. You're not expecting much out of them yet, but that's fine. It's just Sonomalu hasn't. I don't really think he's dealt with much injuries before. Then Takeem Dash should not make this roster. Now let's go to center. Right now, they still have Nate Herbig listed as their starter, but there's a chance he could miss the whole season because of torn rotator cuff. So if it doesn't miss the whole season, he's gonna be out most of the season. So like that's a starter. He was probably gonna be a decent starter for them. But behind them, you got Zach Frazier, young second round pick out of West Virginia. So you do got a guy to replace him, but it's like he's another rookie offensive lineman. So how can he do as a rookie? So we'll see. You're not. You should. You probably. You he'll be should be fine, but he is a rookie. And then you also got Ryan McCollum and Anderson Hardy. Yeah, those guys are good. So yeah, they should probably one of those makes your roster just because her bigs don't be on IR. So so they'll have the extra roster spot. So now let's go to right guard. You got James Daniel, another big free agency signing. I think 2 off seasons. So yeah, 2 off seasons ago from the Bears. He had some good years with the Bears. He's still having good years with the Steelers. He's still only going to be 27 soon. He's going to be 27 by week 2 of the regular season. So I'm just going to say he's 27. He's still pretty good. So yeah, you're not going to worry about having to replace him if he's struggling. But behind them, you got Mason McCormick. He's another young momentum guy. You used a lot of draft picks on this defensive line this year, which is good. This defensive line hasn't struggled a lot these past few years. Like they invested a lot in it. Like they drafted Patrick Jones last year. This year they drafted Vitano. They drafted McCormick. They drafted Frazier. So we'll see. Tyler Beach is not good. So now right tackle, you got Patrick Jones, second year tackle. He had a decent rookie year. Hopefully he can step up and have a great second year. Like year in development should just be what he needs. He should get even better. Then behind them, we got Dylan Cook and Debray Hamilton. Those guys are good. So like, if your offensive line deals with injuries, you're kind of screwed. Just put it honestly, you're kind of screwed. You do not have good depth. You got a lot of young guys that could get better, but I don't think they'll be good now. Like, and like if you're like, because Hairbreak's gonna be out most of the season. So from Ron McCollum is your backup center. He's not good. Like if Frazier was your backup center behind Herbig and if Herbig stay healthy, that's a lot better. Frazier can move a little bit if he needs. So I'll see. Dan Moore's a fine backup, but you don't really want him starting. He's free agent after this season. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, you got some good starters, but you don't have much depth. So if you get injured on offensive line, you're kind of screwed because you already have one in Herbig. So now listen, that's it for offense. Now let's go to your defense. Like this is gonna be what carries this team to a winning record or slash playoffs if they do that again. Just because this offense has some potential, but I don't think they're gonna be the main reason they make the playoffs. I think that's gonna be defense because they still have a lot of great defenders. Like they got Cameron Hayward's a little on bit on the time, but they still find guy player. You got TJ Watt. He's a great player. He's defensive player of the year candidate every year. Outside opposite of him, you got probably one of not the best number two edge rusher in the league, and Alex Highsmith. And a free safety, you got one of the best safeties in the league, in Making Fitzpatrick. You got a young corner, and Joey Porter Jr. showed it was good last year. Oh, now even Mel could be even better. So now let's get more to their depth chart. So your wide defense line, you got Larry Joby. He's fine. He's like, but like you got, but yeah. Then behind them, you brought in Dean Lowry from the Vikings, from like the Packers. He was terrible last year for the Vikings. He's probably not fine on your roster, but you don't want him on the roster if you can avoid it. Then you also got Keanu Benton, young man, the guy going to his second year. Hopefully, he can step up and be a better bench placement for Hayward because he's only getting older. He's not getting any better. He's 35, so we'll see how much longer he plays. This might be his last year. We'll see. Like Hayward's a great player and he's a great guy. Like he's been a former multi-player man of the year award. I think he might have won it. I don't know for sure off the top of my head. And then behind them, you also got Travis Adams. He's okay depth. You're kind of hoping Marvin Leal steps up and can be the main backup instead of him. Marvin Leal's another recent draft pick. He didn't get drafted in the first round, but like going into that draft year, a lot of people thought he could have gone in the first round, but he had a bad final season at Texas A&M, so he went in the third round. So we'll see. Behind them, we also got Logan Lee and Zaya Laudermick. Bad. Not Laudermick's okay depth. Logan Lee is not good. He should make this roster. Then you also got Jacob Slade and Wellington Prevalin. Those guys are good. They should not make this roster. So now let's go to your outside linebackers. You got two, like probably one of, if not the best, 1-2 edge rusher punches, and you got top defensive player, T.J. Watt. You got really good number two, Alex Highsmith. So we'll see. T.J. Watt's great. He's always in your top defensive player of the year finalist. Yeah, like this past season he had 19 sacks. Like he had like in 2022 he had a little bit down year, only had 5.5, but he missed 7 games. In 21, if he played all 17 that year, he probably would have been able to get at least half a sack that year. He probably would have broken the all time single season sack record. Like he's really good. Like the Watt brothers are both really are both pretty good edge rushers. Like TJ Watt's gonna be future Hall of Famer once he's eligible. TJ, if he keeps this up, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer too. You also got Alex Highsmith. He's also good. He's a good number two, but I don't think he would be doing as good as your number one just because like TJ Watt takes up a lot of the offensive line's attention because how good he is, and Highsmith takes advantage of that. But he's still a good edge rusher. He's still a good player. Behind them, you got the other Herbig brother. You got Nick Herbig. He's fine. But yeah, then you also got Jeremiah Moon. He's not good. He's just a young month guy at this point, so we'll see if he gets any better. You also got Kyron Johnson and Jacoby Windman. The guys are good. Same with the Kawhi Washington. So we'll see. Those guys should make the roster, hopefully. So now let's go to your middle linebackers. You brought in Patrick King from division rival the Ravens. That was a big sign-in. Hard to say how good it will be because last year, how much of his good year was based off having Roquan Smith right next to him all year. How much of it was based off Mike McDonald, who a lot of players on that defense last year had breakout years. So it's hard to say how he'll do it in a different team. And then he should be you're counting him to be your number one middle linebacker. Versus for Ravens, he was never good number one. So we'll see. Maybe he just had a breakout year last year. But also some guys just had great years in contract years. Yeah, then next to him, you also got Landon Roberts. He's a good linebacker, but he's 30. So we'll see how much longer he sticks around and can be decently high. But you did draft Peyton Wilson from NC State. So you did draft the third round. Hopefully he doesn't have to start this year. Give him a little development. Then you can and Roberts can start this year. Then I don't know if he's free agent, but you could also just release him and get rid of Roberts next out. Let's just say get rid of Roberts next off season and have Robert Waits, and if he is shown enough to be your starter. Then it's got Tyler McTavish. He's okay. What's going on? So Cole Holcomb is on the pup list right now, but if hopefully he'll be healthy because he's a good middle linebacker. So that's like if he can be healthy, him, Queen, Roberts, and Wilson, that's a really good 1 through 4 middle linebackers. Then you also got Mark Robinson. He's okay. That's really it. Then yeah, so you got some questions in middle linebacker because like you had one Queen last year had one of the top middle linebackers out right next to him in Roquan. He had a great defensive coordinator last year in Mike McDonald. So we'll see. So now let's go to your secondary. You got some you you have some questions at corner. You did bring in Dante Jackson. You traded Deontay Johnson for him. I feel like I feel like the Steelers could have used that wide receiver help, but Deontay Johnson has not done much recently for them, but they could also use that corner help because outside Troy Porter Jr. last year, they had Patrick Pearson. He's gone. He was not good for them. And yeah, so Deontay Jackson needs to find corner. And opposite of him, you also got Troy Porter Jr. Hoping he steps up and can be a really good number one corner. Show some flashes of it last year, so we'll see. He is son of Joey Porter Sr., a good, not formerly another former good NFL corner during his playing days. Then slot corner, so it's nickel. You got Biani Bishop Jr. Did he? I've not heard of this guy before. Like, I don't know if yeah, you're hoping but I have Cameron Sutton. He is suspended for the first 8 games, so he won't be playing for a long time. But if the secondary can hold up until then, he should be slipped right into that slot guy. But you also got Corey Trice Jr., the rare white NFL corner. So see what happens there. It says you rarely see a white corner in the NFL. It just doesn't happen a lot. But we'll see. He was just right. See a 7th round pick. So we'll see what happens. But I hope like you have more upside in him over Bishop, so you kind of hope he can be your slot guy until Sutton suspension's over. But you also got Demonte KC, who can play safety. You can also play some slot. That's partially why you brought in a guy like Deshaun Elliott. Partially to be upgraded starting strong safety, but also so you can move around KZ a lot more. Then you also got Darius Rush, another recent draft pick. It's really just, I was going to say, I thought I didn't think he got drafted by Pittsburgh last year, but yeah, he's just a young developmental guy. Like, we'll see what happens there. And then behind them, we also got Thomas Graham Jr., Anthony Everett. Everett's fine, but he's dealt a ton of injuries. So we'll see what happens there. Graham Jr. is not very good. Grenard is an IR, so he's another guy that's going to be out for a while. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, even then, you're not counting to do much. Then Zion Gilbert and Kyler McMichael. Those guys are good. Bad depth. They should not make this roster. So now let's go to safety. Free safety, you got your best safety. You got your best secondary player. Megan Fitzpatrick is a great safety. Like, he's really good. So yeah, that's really it. Yeah, absolutely. Him, brought in Deshaun Elliott from the Dolphins. He has some good years with the Dolphins. So we'll see that, hey, like, it's your number 2 safety. That should be pretty fine. You also got I already contact with Demonte Casey. He's a fine safety. You also got Miles Cobro. He's really a special teamer. He's not much, you don't expect him much as a starter. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, you don't. Elliott and Fitzpatrick haven't dealt with 10 injuries before, so it shouldn't happen this year, but it can happen. So you never know. You also got Ryan Watts and Jalen Elliott. Fine depth. That's really it. You also got Nathan Metters and IR, so he's gonna be out, another guy out most of the year, so I'm not going to talk about him. So yeah, that's it for your defense. This is a good defense. This is like if this knowing Mike Tomlin, he's not ruining season, but if this team finds a way to make the playoffs again, it's only because of this defense. I think. I don't think they're gonna win a playoff game, but they're probably gonna find a way to make this playoffs because the Steelers just always seem to do it. So yeah. Then let's go special teams. Kicker, you have a kicker battle. We got Chris Boswell, Matthew Wright. Chris Boswell should win this kicker battle. He's been a great kicker for them for a long time. This will be his 10th season. He hasn't been great in preseason, but it's only preseason, so it's like, how much is he really trying that hard? No offense to him, but just saying that Matthew Wright, he's not a good kicker. And punter, you got Cameron Johnston. You brought him in to replace Presley Harvin, who you drafted a couple years ago. So we'll see there. Johnston's a fine punter. Now let's go to your returners. I guess Cordero Patterson's one of the greatest kick returners of all time. Like, he's a ton of great, like, he has a ton of highlight kick return touchdowns. But he's only losing some of this. He's not as fast as he used to be because he is 33. So we'll see what happens there. Coming out in the 30s, he's a decent punt returner. I'm not going to talk about their long snapper. It's a long snapper. So now let's go to your schedule. Week one. So your first three games are all. So two of the first three games are games you should win. The Falcons are a tough one because they are. I feel like they should be able to start off at least 2-1. Then I think that's gonna be a loss there. Loss to the Cowboys. Win against the Raiders. Win against the Jets. Win against the Giants. You got your bye. I think you're gonna be able to beat the Commanders, especially coming off your bye because you got extra rest. Ravens. I feel like you're gonna be able to split the Ravens just because this division always has great matchups, even if one team's way better than the other. But we'll see. I feel like the Steelers are gonna split like all their season series. I feel like they're gonna finish 3-3 or 2-4 because I think they can split with the Bengals or Ravens. But I don't think I think there's a chance they get swept by either of those teams. But I don't think they're gonna get swept by both of them. I feel like they're gonna be able to split the Browns. So yeah, Eagles loss, Ravens. So yeah, I already said that. Chiefs loss. Just yeah, the Chiefs should be way better than them. Bengals already talked about that. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day.